Dinah Jolie here, aka SirenbellaSays. I want to welcome you back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to attempt a fun, fresh, back-to-school look that's not gonna drain your pockets using all drugstore products. Stick around. Focus on my face. Focus on my face. Before we get started, check out the description box. Products used. Go find things in your collection that are similar. Come on back and let's get started. My face is cleansed, moisturized, SPF'd, under eye moisturizer. Use what you've got and what you love. I've allowed all my face products to sink in for about 10-15 minutes now, which is pretty ideal. I'm still a little sweaty from the shower, but you know, first world problems. All right, so I like to use a pore filling primer as well as a smoothing primer. Lately, I've been enjoying this Maybelline Master Blur Stick in 100, and I'm going to be using my viewfinder. I do not place this under my eyes, but do you, boo, do you. Smoothing primer, OG Maybelline Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser. You can get it for under $6 at Walmart. Probably Amazon, pea-sized amount, and this is a standard silicone, really effective smoothing and pore filling primer. I don't think that these primers ever really feel set down, so what I'm going to do is grab my Physicians Formula translucent powder, one of my faves. I'm going to grab my Wet n Wild, no I'm not because it's super damp. All right, I'm gonna use my e.l.f. complexion brush, dip right on in, and I'm just gonna stipple, oh, again, avoiding my under eye, and we're gonna add to that smoothing effect. For foundation, I wanted to pick natural yet long wearing foundations, so I picked up Revlon Candid as opposed to another OG Revlon Color Stay. I love both of them. I've got the Candid legit in 4 bottles. Let's go in with 250 today. So we're gonna dot this bad boy on. As you can see, I have redness. I just waxed my mustache, cried on the inside, and yeah, I think I missed quite a few hairs. Okay, with foundation, to increase longevity, I like to use my fingers, wow, that looks yellow, to spread the product out, to kind of lay it down, you know, and paying attention to the areas that need it the most, which is not my forehead. I put way too much on my forehead. Lord have mercy. Oh yeah, and I rarely put it on my nose. I guess we're going hard today. My cheeks are the area where I have the most hyperpigmentation, acne scarring. All right, let's try the Milani Make It Last. Go ahead and give your face a spritz. And I'm gonna go in with my Real Techniques expert face brush, and I'm just going to start blending. Where I want the most coverage, I'm gonna hit that area last, and where I want it to be, yeah, I can't blend with this damn mirror. Oh my god, give myself an anxiety attack. All right. So as I was saying, where I want the coverage to be most concentrated, I'm gonna save that for last. I love damp sponges. I've been using them for years, but you have to remember that damp sponges will shear out your application. So the harder you pounce and the more you press, you are going to lift potentially. And if you have gone in too heavy, that's a good thing, right? But after why does this lighting look so tragic? Give me a second, guys. I don't like a lot of product to be on my nose. If you've been with me for a while, you know that I typically wipe that area free of any foundation because I like the freckles underneath. One panic attack later. All right, next, grabbing my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow in the shade Classic Ivory. All right, grabbing my handy dandy 10X mirror And I'm going to use the applicator to apply an even layer. I'm going to apply as much as I think I need, trying to make it the least amount of patchy ever. Going towards my temple, as you can see. So I recently watched a Jackie Aina video and about how she applies her concealer, and I swear ever since I made this modification, I feel like I've stepped up my concealer game. Jackie recommends that would be leave it Jackie on Ina for as long as you physically can before it dries down completely. And this requires patience. But if you can make this one tiny modification to your routine, you will be amazed at how much longer your concealer lasts, how much more coverage and payoff you get from your concealer. And ultimately, I think you're using less product because you're not going in and feeling tempted to continue layering, and your under eye looks less heavy and more natural. The best tool for blending, not blending out your concealer, but sort of tapping in your concealer, because again, as you blend out, you're shearing out the product and you're distributing the product away from where you want the most coverage, which for me would be the inner corner. So what I do is I'll take my finger and starting from the outermost, I'll just, as gently as I possibly can with my ring finger, and sometimes my index finger, I'll start not blending out, but tapping down the edges. And you can, if you pay attention to the concealer, you'll find that it becomes less shiny the longer that it's sitting on the skin and oxidizing. So again, I'm avoiding, I'm avoiding the direct inner corner and, the lash line, because I want the most coverage there. This under eye looks a lot more covered than this under eye. Taking my e.l.f. 16-hour Camo Concealer in light beige, and I'm just gonna dot that right in that hollow right there. I'm gonna let her sit, and I'm gonna put a little here, 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 and just a little right here. Maybe a little dot here. And for some extra insurance, I'm going to take my e.l.f. Dewy Setting Mist. I think this is the coconut one. I'm going to give myself a little spritz. And I'm going to let that sit for about a minute and then blend her out. Okay, for this step, I'm going to use my Maybelline, my pink Maybelline sponge, lightly dampened about a half an hour ago. And I'm going to start from the bottom and blend my way up. My dog is being so whiny right now. That's enough, Cersei. I'm using a substantial amount of pressure to meld this e.l.f. concealer into my face. Grab that forehead. And again, if you have any problems blending out, just spray. Moving right along, I am not a fan of putting powder directly under my eyes. However, if I do feel the need to set under my eye, I enjoy this e.l.f. sheer under eye setting powder. This is what she looks like, and I grab that same setting brush. I want to wait for my concealer to be fully set because adding a powder to it or to my foundation can alter the color, which is a lot of times you'll find that your powder darkens your base, but it's actually because it's still wet. So I'm just going to start on my lids and take the teeniest amount. I don't always set my my lids, but just for fun. And if I do put powder, I typically just put it right here in that inner corner. All right. Another area that I tend to avoid is my forehead, just because, you know, natural lines and such. So any part of my face that has more texture or lines, I go really, really lightly. And these days, for setting powder, I've been loving my Milani Natural Light 03. This is what she looks like. She's absolutely stunning, and it's a perfect match. I'm gonna grab my e.l.f. complexion brush, dip right in. This is a really luxe powder, and I'm just gonna start at my cheeks, just concentrating this on the areas where I am gonna lay down my bronzer and blush. All right, really, really pretty, really smoothing, never too heavy, and it's great as a touch-up powder as well. All right, next, so I am going to build highlighter, blush, then bronzer. Going in with my Maybelline Master Chrome in Molten Rose Gold. I'm not big on stripes of highlighter. I like it to look more diffused. So I'm gonna take this e.l.f. blush brush. This is a really, really beautiful pigmented, some people would call it blinding highlight. I enjoy highlighters as cheek toppers, and I've just recently started using them. So I'm just gonna lightly dust this here, and I'm gonna bring it into my brow. Using that same brush, I'm going to grab my Wet n Wild Color Icon in Keep It Peachy. Very pigmented, buildable, doesn't get splotchy on ya. Gonna dip in, take off the excess, and holding the end of the brush, I'm going to avoid the right along here, and I'm gonna apply it where I would typically flush if I were working out. So I'm just using pressing motions. I'm gonna go up and down, taking care not to drag it too far down my cheekbone. Just really paying special attention to, you know, the fatty part of your cheek and bringing it up, you know, don't be afraid to bring it up towards your eye bag. And I do like to take whatever's left on my brush and drag it over my nose. Gives it a nice little pop. And then I'll go back in and dust some along where I would have horns if they grew out. And just, you know, don't be afraid. And then whatever's left, you can just dust onto your eyelids. All right, you could stop here. You could keep building. I'm gonna stop here. And you can just take a fluffy brush. This is my Wet n Wild Pac-Man. And just, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to disturb the blush. I'm just going to blend. All right, keeping this same brush, I'm going to go into my Maybelline City Bronzer in 200, a gorgeous neutral matte bronzer. This is my #1. Dipping in and starting at my forehead, I'm going to start warming up my face. Again, wherever my forehead juts out, I'm going to press that powder in and continue pressing into my hairline. around my ears and down my neck with whatever's left. I'm gonna dip back into that bronzer, dusting it on my chest, right on the perimeter of my jawline. I'm gonna go in with the lightest amount, taking care not to drag the bronzer. Again, I don't want to muddy up this portion. You see that natural darkness right there? I want to keep my bronzer, I'm gonna go upwards. I don't like to put a lot of bronzer on my cheeks because I do already have defined cheekbones. So if I do, I tend to concentrate it on the upper portion, into my temple and into my hairline. I had on mascara before I got in the shower, and I used baby oil to remove it like a douchebag, and now I'm getting the worst transfer. This Sigma E25 blending brush while I'm here, because this is really gonna annoy me, and I'm just gonna run it right here. Smoke out that lower lash line. And once we apply our eyeliner and lower lash mascara, it won't be too obvious. And while I'm here, I can add some of that bronzer right above my crease, just to add some interest and some dimension. And again, we're going to class where the lights are super fluorescent and not the most flattering. So I grabbed this NYX in Free Spirit. It's just a really nice pinky, peachy nude that needs to be sharpened ASAP. All right, let's bang out these lips. Get down. I can't do my lips if you're on my arm. Filling in your lips with a lip liner, a matte lip liner, and a it doesn't have to be expensive, but like one that you know is tried and true. And NYX, the wooden ones, it's a fantastic formula. This is gonna triple the wear time. All right, now that that's on, I picked my favorite NYX Butter Gloss in Madeleine. It's a beautiful, beautiful brownie, yummy color. I think that's universally flattering. And depending on what lip liner you use, you can alter, alter the tone. Just your standard applicator. We're gonna move on to lashes. Lately I've been using the L'Oreal Voluminous Primer Base just because I do have such sparse lashes and I don't wear falsies on a day-to-day. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply this top and bottom. I'm gonna let this get a little tacky, and then I'm gonna go in with, I'm gonna alternate between the CoverGirl Exhibitionist and the L'Oreal Unlimited Mascara. Both of these are in Very Black and Blackest Black. All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna add about 2 to 3 coats. For eyeliner, I'm going in with this Maybelline New York Tattoo Studio Gel Pencil Liner in Deep Onyx. All right. All right, that's punchy. I'm gonna let that set down a little bit, and now I'm going to grab the L'Oreal Unlimited mascara and layer that on top of the CoverGirl Exhibitionist. And I'm doing more pushing up, kind of pressing into the lashes at the root rather than dragging, because again, I want there to be volume, and I don't want to disturb the pigment that we've already set down. I'm gonna go in with this, let's see, it's called the Maybelline Master Precise Skinny. Super, super, super teeny, 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 tiny. You don't want to push up too much product because it will break off once it warms up a little bit. Grabbing that setting spray. This coconut dewy mist, I don't think it does much for extending the life. However, the Milani Make It Last is fantastic. All right, be generous with it. Grab your handy dandy fan because why not? But have your handy dandy fan somewhere where you can actually whip it out, because now I have absolutely no idea where it is. So take your sponge, channel your inner alley glinds, and ever so gently, I'm taking the edge and I'm gonna try to take that transfer and push it back into my line. All right, I'm gonna avoid making any facial expressions, and we're just gonna press anything, any hairs down, any powders down. And if you feel like you want to go back in and hit your T-zone with some powder, by all means do. Grab yourself the tiniest brush that you can, i.e. your Real Techniques setting brush. Dip in and just press. I'm going to run a brush through my hair. What the hell? Look at, God, I look veiny. What is that? That's called old age, man. I'm gonna run a brush through my, actually, I think you all would judge me if I told you how long it had been since I'd taken a shower. I have these moments where it's really hard for me to get in the shower. I know. All right, so I'm not gonna fake the funk. I'm not gonna do anything with my hair other than let it air dry and throw it back in a bun. But this is the final look. Actually, I didn't even do my eyebrows, but who cares, because I didn't even notice. Let's just pretend that I dragged an eyebrow pencil, but I'm just gonna brush them up. We don't have anything, no eyeshadow. All I did was drag that, Maybelline City bronzer in my crease. You can go lighter, you can go heavier, just to add some dimension. I think the winners of today's show are the blush. I think that the eyelashes and the blush and that glossy lip, I think it's fresh, I think it's pretty, and like I said, it doesn't look like you're trying too hard, which again, the only person that you should be trying for is yourself. Always remember that, okay? Anybody else who happens to notice, bonus points, but at the end of the day, you should be doing this for you. So I love you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Smash that subscribe button. Please leave a comment down below. Let me know what some of your holy grail drugstore products are. And if you have any video ideas, I would love to hear them. Signing off. I'll see you all soon. Mwah. And happy back to school. See you soon. Bye-bye.